Hi guys, this is Kim at Grenzer Games. Today I thought I would do a quick video on how the contact system works, or the counter system as well works in our rules. So as you can see, we do have some actual figures on the table, but when the game starts, everything is only marked by these white counters, including aircraft and helicopters and all other stuff. Reason for that is you can use the white counters to fool, confuse, and basically pull the wool over your eyes of your opponent. And it's quite a sneaky game. If you hide something behind an island, for instance, it can't be detected by most things. So, what is that? Is it perhaps a Kirov sitting there? Is it a submarine sitting there? Or is it just an oil rig? There's lots of sneaky things you can do with that, and this is actually why my wife normally beats me, because she manages to hide stuff really, really well. Alright, so, contacts and how they work. Here we have 3 unclassified contacts. So they are how they appear on the table at the very start, before the very first radar search goes out from all of the applicable units, or capable units. Then we have the updated contacts. This one, this small pinhead, is a surface contact. The same orange on a raised pin is an aerial contact, and the black one is a submerged contact. Now, that could be a whale, or it could be a submarine. If you are being really pernickety about it, it can even be a shoulder fish. Generally, though, whales and shoulder fish have very, very, very easy sonar detection rates, whereas something like a sea wolf, which is actually what this model is, but is representing a cooler for Luna's fleet, it's going to be a damn sight harder to detect and classify. So, what happens? So first of all, we have these 3 contacts down here. You make your radar tests, which I'll do the radar detection tests and sonar detection tests in 2 separate videos, because they're not particularly complex, but there's a lot to them to explain. So, you make your test. If you don't score high enough to fully classify the target, then you place one of these on the table with a yellow dice depicting the level of classification. Or, yeah, I suppose it's not quite right to call it the level of classification, but close enough. And there are 3 states for that. Actually, there's 4 states for that. You can have this unclassified contact, a partially classified contact that you know is either a surface, aerial, or subsurface contact, and then little dice numbered from 1, 2, or 3 to show varying degrees of classification. Of 4 would be the actual target. These classification states are quite important in the rules, because they add bonuses, as shown on the dice, to your next radar check or sonar check against those targets. So if you have that against the Kirov's classification, then in the following turn you got +3 on your actual test again. It's a good chance you're going to see it's the Kirov. Right, what are these for? We have done it so that the players have contact sheets as well, and hold down in a slightly different way so it's more visible. So A6, is that going to zoom in? No, put my hand behind it perhaps. Is that visible as A6? Yeah, that's visible as A6. Yeah, there we go. So A6 is the Kirov here. A6, Kirov, cruiser. The orange counter is also marked as A6. So the players don't need to give away what's on the table by turning counters over, perhaps giving that sort of thing away. They can keep what we call a contact reference sheet, classification sheet, off table by their side that they can have a look at whenever they need to. And as you can see from this sheet, we do have things like helicopters, bulk tankers, humpback whales, oil rigs, civilian helicopters, all sorts of stuff on there. And all of those go to further confusing the battlefield and making life harder for your opponent to see what's going on. The last thing I'm going to go through for game counters is weaponry. Now, we have 3 different kinds of weapons, obviously. No, we don't. That's not quite true. We have 2 different kinds of weapons and a countermeasure. The missiles have a 45-degree arc marked on them. So if an aircraft, I was reaching for an aircraft model, is within that 45-degree arc during the attack phase, then they can be picked up by those missiles and attacked. If the aircraft has just managed to sneak outside that arc, then he's got away with it. They managed to avoid the missile during the attack phase. Same applies, kinda, to the torpedoes. Now, torpedoes have a bit more information on them. They have a 90-degree arc marked on them. Yeah, and they also have if I can hold on to them so you can see them, the search patterns which the torpedo has been programmed with before it was fired. So here we have a circle search pattern, and here we have a snake search pattern. This is, these are important because if a torpedo misses, it will dictate how it moves. If it doesn't even pick up enemy contact, it dictates what it does. Also with this type, it can be dropped into the water purely to bracket an enemy submarine's movement. So you could drop them in a line ahead of it, and the enemy submarine probably isn't going to want to go that way because there's a bunch of torpedoes all hunting for it along its line. Whereas, if you were to drop a snake search pattern weapon, it would very quickly move away from the area, either towards the target or away from the target in whatever direction, and might not have the movement deterrent effect that you're after. And then finally, we have chaff markers. Chaff. I love these. Now, someone has suggested as well that I make flare markers as well. All the chaff marker does is denote a countermeasure of some sort, an aerial countermeasure of some sort, or a surface countermeasure. They aren't there as depiction of chaff per se, although if I find a smaller ship, there we go, Kirov will do. They do look good when placed next to the ships. They give the correct sort of feel for what's going on. I am tempted to make some flare counters as well for the dogfight part of the game, but we'll see. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's what should actually be video 1. Video 2 will be the radar contacts and how that works. Video 3 will be sonar contacts. I've already done video 4, did that first because I'm intelligent, which was missile fire. I'll also, if necessary, go into how movement works, although that is very, very simple. Anyway, catch you guys later. If you want to download the rules, by the way, they are available on the Grenzer Games Facebook group. Don't go to the page, go to the group, and they're there in the files. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Bye.